Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Scottsdale, Arizona, looking at another gorgeous luxury home, and this time we have a model home by Camelot Homes. Now, starting on the exterior, family, we do have that stacked natural stone on the exterior, along with the stucco, that desert contemporary look on the outside. Now, you are gonna have this long driveway right here. You see there's a lot of new development, and look at the beautiful mountains surrounding this property. Now, as we do continue right here, you see we have multiple courtyards. So that's a neat feature about this particular property. I'll show you the first one right over here. So as we enter in here, look at that. So you have the turf along with the rocks and then a nice zen-like feel. We talk about that quite often. Now you will notice it is elevated slightly, which is a neat feature as well. And then you have some accents as soon as you enter. Look how beautiful this is. Love this tiling as soon as you enter inside of the property. And look at this, family. Really neat feature here. So you walk right in here, you see the stucco surrounding this, and then look at this. Oh my goodness. So you have that privacy element, perfect to hang out here, and wait till we get to the backyard. You don't want to miss it. Now, we're going to start right over here to the left in our casita. Look at this, family. So as soon as you enter inside of here, look at the living area. Plenty of space. You have that light fixture hanging down right above there. You have tile flooring inside. You have an additional bedroom straight ahead. Right over here, look at this. The perfect kitchenette. You got the stainless steel appliances, your built-in microwave, the flat panel cabinet doors, and then you have some refrigeration right there. Now, since we are right over here, we'll start in the bedroom. So perfect for the multi-gen living. That's been a very popular term over the last 1 to 2 years. And you're starting to see it more and more, especially in some of these model homes. All right, so look at the walk room that you have. You have a king size bed, your nightstands, your dresser, and you still have a ton of breathing room. Now, as we continue right over here, you do have the egress windows, and then you have your walk-in closet. So what you will notice about this one is that it does have that full bathroom. It's going to be a shared bathroom. So it's a multi-purpose bathroom. If you have guests hanging out inside of here, they can obviously have the access without heading into the bedroom. But of course, you can still utilize it if someone is living in here. Gorgeous. So you have quartzite countertops. You see the accent lighting underneath there. The custom cabinet doors continues this way. And then you have a generously sized walk-in shower. Beautiful. So you also see some champagne bronze. You'll notice that throughout the property. And then look at the accent lighting right behind the mirror. Beautiful. All right. So I'll tell you, a day like today, this is the perfect place to be. I tell you that it's barely at 100 degrees, so it feels fantastic out here right now. So continue this way. You got your water feature over here to the left. You see, you got your cactus, your cactuses over here. And then, of course, straight ahead, you even have an additional porch area, or if you want to use it as a patio. Since we are on this side, I'll just give you a quick glimpse. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And you can slightly see towards the backyard, that view. Oh my goodness. Make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue. You have lush landscaping surrounding here. Beautiful. And the most important thing about this particular model is that it is for sale for just under $6.3 million. Okay, so as soon as you enter in the front door, look at this. So you're greeted with this elegant foyer. You have so much space. You can have a sitting area. You see you have the sliders leading you to your backyard oasis. We'll see that in just a moment. Straight ahead, you do have your kitchen. We'll see that in just a second, but I'm gonna turn you around and we're gonna start on this side of the house. Look at this. So you are going to notice a ton of rooms inside of the property, very versatile. So depending on what you determine to use it as, or what you choose to use these particular rooms as, is going to determine how you best furnish it. But let's go ahead and continue. Now, this is our first bedroom. The neat thing about this model is the accent. So you notice the accent wall straight ahead. You have the accent ceiling as well. You do have a ceiling fan. Trust me, you're definitely going to need that in Arizona. But look at the walk room that you have. Beautiful. Plenty of space to work with it being totally furnished. It gives you an idea of how much room you have in this bedroom. Now, as we continue right over here, you got your shower tub combo. You notice that champagne bronze. You got that unique shower surround. And then here you got your elegant quartz countertops. And then, of course, that nice size mirror. So this one's going to be the closet bathroom combination, depending if you like that. And then other ones are going to be the separation between the two. So you'll see that, I believe, in the next bedroom. So now you do have tile floors inside of here. So really keeping current with that contemporary look, especially as I've toured more Arizona properties out here, you're noticing that common theme. So let me know if you like that or you prefer maybe white oak floors. Now, next bedroom, look at the size that you get. So you notice the tile floors extends inside of here. You got these oversized night tables or nightstands, and then you have your queen size bed. Now, this is the room that I mentioned. You have the separate closet, which is over there to the left. Your ensuite is right over here to the right. So let's see what we get. Okay. So in here, you do have your walk-in shower. You got a massive shower niche right there. A lot of depth to it. And then in here, you got your elegant quartz with the veins inside of there, and then the accent lighting underneath. But you notice the cabinet doors or the cabinet fronts matching, especially throughout. Okay, so both of them were walk-in closets. Love it. And really, you know, the house is fantastic, but more importantly, the location. As you start to head out here, it is absolutely jaw-dropping. That's the best way I could describe that. Now, as we do continue right over here, you will notice that elegant chandelier. I didn't mention that. Now we'll continue this way. So look at this. You see the recessed areas, but more importantly, look at the trim. You see that beautiful wood trim that you will notice. So really complementing the accent walls. Straight ahead, you are going to have a huge storage closet with built-in shelving. And then I'll turn you around right over here so you can see the primary suite. Beautiful. So you have your sliding doors. You'll notice multiple access points to the backyard oasis, which I absolutely love. You have that sleek sliding door heading into your ensuite. But look at the room that you get. You got your king size bed, your accent wall. You got a designated sitting area right here. And I'll tell you what, you sit right here and enjoy this incredible view. You will not be disappointed. Also, you have those oversized pendant lights. You see that? And then, of course, right behind me, you have that recessed area. But let's continue to our ensuite. Okay, so in here, look at the sleek champagne bronze hardware, really complementing the cabinets. Now, here you have some additional windows, bringing in a ton of natural light. Right over here, you have a dual entry point as far as walking into your walk-in closet. So look at this. So I love the fact that the shelving right over here is separated into two. So no mix-ups whatsoever. You don't have to worry about that. So you have a ton of cabinets in here. You got your hamper drawer down there, some additional shelving, and then it even continues over here. Beautiful. And so you even have some more space so you can play hide and seek or something, you know. And then even some additional rods back behind here. Okay, so now heading in here, look how elegant this is, family. Very impressive. Sliding door, look at the freestanding tub right here. You have the cosmetic area or the cosmetic vanity straight ahead. Look at the gorgeous sconces complementing the hardware in here. Impressive. So if the kiddos are hanging out back there, whichever room you are in, you will have the ability to see them. You have visibility, right? So I love to see that. Now, as we continue over here, you got your water closet to the left, additional counter space right here, and then look at our walk-in shower. Got your shower bench right there, that sleek drain, zero threshold. I had a comment recently that said that's my favorite term, so I always have to mention that. Beautiful. So if you haven't, please do let me know in the comments your initial thoughts on this model. We just got started. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Could you raise your family in this one? See yourself here long term? I know I could. So hopefully you're with me on that. Now, we'll head across the foyer and head to the great room. Look at this, family. Look at the depth. So I'll pan you upwards. You see the floating ceiling with the beautiful wood panels. Now you have 10-foot sliders right there. Inside of here, you are going to have the clear story windows on both sides. So bringing in a ton of natural light. Not to mention, you are going to have 18-foot ceilings from the great room all the way to the kitchen. And look at the floating ceiling continue in that way. So I love that simple fact. I'll turn you around slowly and you can see the fireplace. Gorgeous. So you see that floor to ceiling marble tile on the fireplace around. You have your built-in right there to the right with some shelving and some cabinetry. And then look at the incredible views. Gorgeous. So you do have those modern chandeliers, not only in the great room, but as we continue right over here, you have this casual sitting area that you can hang out in, and this is what you see. Now, as we continue right over here, family, I'm so excited about this kitchen because look at the scope of this. All right, so right off the bat, you see the 4 pendant lights hanging down right above our oversized island. You have the quartz countertops with the waterfall. You have the flat panel cabinet doors in here. It's the glossy. So you notice that throughout. And then you have the panel ready glossy refrigerator. So really sleek, that modern look. You have stacked cabinets right above there. And then look at this, family. So you got these giant windows, still bringing in a ton of natural light right here. Two-tone cabinetry here. You see that accent lighting right underneath. And let's open up some of these drawers for you so you can see. You got your panel ready dishwasher on this side. You got your sink in the island, champagne bronze, and look at this. Beautiful. And look at this, you even have an additional dishwasher. You never know how many dishes you may have, right? You got your built-in stainless steel microwave, double oven, and let's take a look at our refrigerator. Look at that, we have a lean cuisine in there. I haven't seen one of those in years. Someone's eating healthy, I see it. That's what I love to see. Now, here's the deal. I know I've gotten comments before about a lot of the grease popping up and hitting the windows from your cooktop. But one, it's easy to clean. And two, there's also accessories out there that you can utilize to prevent that from happening as much. So other than that, tell me that's not an incredible view. I love that. Okay, so let's open up some of these cabinets again, see how much space we have. You got these pull out drawers right over here, even right above there. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our pantry. Okay, so a ton of shelving inside of here. You can obviously extend it if that is something that you prefer, but you still have a ton of storage, not to mention all the cabinets that you have. Beautiful. Now, as we continue right here, you'll notice that same accent wall that we had seen inside of the foyer. But more importantly, look at the space that you get. Love that. So beautiful light fixture hanging down right above our dining table, as you can see. But look at this. You see that you have a 10-seater dining table. I talk about that quite often. More often than not, you see the 8-seater or the 6-seater, but in here, the fact that we have a 10-seater and you still have a ton of walk room around this entire dining table is incredible. So I love that. And then of course you have that recess area straight ahead. So we'll go ahead and continue straight down this hallway, and that way you can see this side of the property, and then we'll continue. So right over here, you do have your powder bath. So you have your furnace right there. You'll see right here, look at that sleek vanity. Beautiful pendant lights hanging down, that accent wall. And then as we continue right around here, you see you got your toilet. Love that. So beautiful accent wall, as you can see, really complementing the materials. And then you have a coat closet right over here. So the tile floors extends this way, but look at the laundry room, family. So you have counter space over here. You have an island right here, perfect for folding. As you can see, pull up a chair. You got a sink right there, 2 sets of stackable washer and dryers, and then some additional cabinets that have been matching the cabinet fronts that we've been seeing. Now, right over here, you have your built-ins again. So really just that elegance, that wow factor as you continue to walk throughout the property. Now, right over here, you see you got your garage, you got epoxy flooring, you got an access point straight back there, 3 tankless water heaters, and then look at the size of this. You can see they're using it as storage. A lot of times they have, open houses. The models typically open daily, except for a couple, days out of the week or so. But they're utilizing it as storage. Okay. And then right across from the garage, you have your additional bedroom. Beautiful. So you see they're operating out of this one right here, because you do have a desk, but right over here, you see that you have your ensuite. So this is going to be the bathroom closet combination, but you do have that walk-in shower right here. And I always like to open this door just to give you a better close-up of the shower surround and then the shower valve. Now, you see this, they have the printer in here, but you could use this as your closet. And then in here, you have the natural stone countertops, as you can see. But if you prefer to use this as a study, I definitely wouldn't blame you. Just it is technically classified as a bedroom. Okay, so that was the entire property. We didn't miss a thing. And last but certainly not least, we'll take a look at the backyard oasis. So again, if you haven't done so, please do let me know your initial thoughts about the property. I mean, we've already seen the entire home, so I'd love to gauge what you're thinking about it so far. Okay, so now as we head back here, look at the turf continuing back here, but we've been seeing this quite often being out here in Arizona, this sunken area. So I'm a huge fan of this because out in Texas, you don't see this quite often, and I always love that feature. Look at your massive pool, family. Absolutely exquisite. As you can see, we continue back here, the turf, the landscaping. You see back here, you even have that backyard patio. So open up the 10-foot sliders, have that indoor, outdoor living. You continue down this walkway, you can go to your foyer, or if you go to your primary suite, but look at the fountain features in here. So you have the iron fencing, as you can see, and then on this side you have more of that brick. So I love that. And then we'll continue right over here. That sun definitely loves the beam. Me and that sun have become quite acquainted, I tell you that. Now, right over here, you see that feature again. You can open up these sliders here, maybe set up some chairs and really feel that perfect ambiance. And if that wasn't enough for you, family, you come right underneath here and look at this. You got your built-in gas grill, your refrigeration, some more counter space. As you can see, you got a high bar area too, and still a ton of room. And look at that incredible mountain right there. So that view would be perfect right now. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular property. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour. Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Scottsdale, Arizona again, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And this time we have a model home by David Weekley Homes. Now, starting on the exterior, family, we do have that stucco and stacked stone. Now, what's neat about this one is look at the walkway. Right over here to the left, you do have this outdoor patio. You have the double-sided gas fireplace with the Rasmussen fireballs. And then you have additional seating to take advantage of. You got this massive cactus right here as well. You can't miss that. And then over here to the right, you are going to have your garage. Now, it is operating as a sales office. A lot of times when we see the model homes, that is usually the case. Now, as we continue right here, I love the slope design heading inside of the courtyard. Really neat feature, as you can appreciate. And then we'll go ahead and continue. Look at the zen immediately whenever you walk here. I love this. So you are going to have an additional patio right over here. You see the corner sliders that you can take advantage of, and then look at the space that you have. Really unique area. I'm so fascinated as we tour these Arizona homes by this particular feature, and I really appreciate that. Now, as I continue right here, I'll pan you upwards. You do have the wood soffit, as you can see. The stucco as well as the stacked stone continues this way, so giving that contemporary look but still keeping that uniformity with the community. Now we'll go ahead and continue right here. You do have the covered front porch. You see you have the massive windows on both sides of your iron door, and then of course you got the glass panes. But let's go ahead and get you inside this beautiful property. Okay, so immediately whenever you walk in, you are greeted with this cozy, intimate foyer. I'll pan you upwards. You see the tray ceilings with the gold chandelier hanging down, and again, the wood ceiling. Now I'll turn you around so you can see the front door from the inside, and then we'll go ahead and continue. So extremely open and spacious. We'll walk the perimeter of the property, and I'll make sure we don't miss a thing. So now you head down this hallway right over here, and this is going to head to your first bedroom. Look at this. So you see the LED ceiling fan right here. You have a queen size bed, your 2 nightstands on both sides, and look at the breathing room that you have right over here. So you have some floating decor right over here with the flat panel cabinet fronts that we've been getting used to out here. Floating shelving right there. Massive TV here, so it gives you an idea how much space you have. And then of course, you can even have possibly a 75-inch TV. Now you do have some accent walls right here, your egress window, and then look at the space that you still have between the door and then over here to your main area. Lovely. So then you have the massive window overlooking that patio that we had just got done seeing. So you have a ton of space, and then I'll show you this angle and then we'll go ahead and continue. Beautiful. So you are going to have the separate walk-in closet from the bathroom. You'll see that in just a moment. Extremely spacious, as you can see inside of there. And then we'll head to the ensuite. So far, loving this. We haven't seen a David Weekley on this channel in, gosh, well over a year. So I'm excited to be back in a David Weekley model home. Okay. So in here, you have the chevron pattern tile, as you can see, that's going to be floor to ceiling. You have the matte black shower head right there as well. Extremely spacious. And then I'll turn you around so you can see the vanity. You got that wood cabinet front and drawer fronts, as you can see. You got your sconce right above there, mirror frame, and then you got a medicine cabinet right there. So I love this. You have engineered wood floors inside of here with that oak finish, as you can see. So really neat, but extremely durable at the same time. And then head into our second bedroom. Okay, so in here, again, queen size bed, your 2 nightstands. Look at the wall-to-wall headboard right there. Let me know what you think about that. We don't see that often. But look at the space that you get. A ton of room in here, depending on how you position the furniture. If you add additional furniture in here, a lot of folks may like that minimalist feel. So really, if that's the case, then this will certainly be adequate for you. But then I'll stand on this angle so you can see the size of the bedroom. Beautiful. Now, this one does have an ensuite as well, as you can see. So we'll see our vanity, quartz countertops, the similar vanity we had just seen in the first bedroom. And the same thing with the sconce. But in here, you have a different shower surround. Okay. But I'm glad they added the shower niche in here. Now, in this one, you are going to have the closet bathroom combination. So hopefully you like that. All right. So we've seen the 2 bedrooms right here. And like I said, when I tour these homes, I like to go around the perimeter of the property. I think it just flows well. You know, hopefully you do like it. So let me know your thoughts. Okay, so now right over here, you see they have it staged as a study, but this is a den. You have floating shelving right over here. Perfect placement, as you can see. And then, of course, you do have some sliders leading you to a little side patio that you can take advantage of. So you have additional windows right over here, bringing in a ton of natural sunlight, as you can see. Even looking at the wood paneling for an accent wall right there. Impressive. And then, like I said, it's been about a year or so since we toured a David Weekley. I did have a compilation video of David Weekley's back in Texas. So you can obviously refer back to that and, you know, get an idea of the builder itself and what kind of product they usually put out. All right. So now, family, heading to our primary suite. Look at this. Gorgeous. So I'll pan you upwards. You got the vaulted ceilings with the exposed beams. You'll see that exposed beam theme once we head to the great room. You have a king size bed, your 2 nightstands, and look at the room that you have on both sides. And then, of course, that perfect recessed area right there for your dresser. But I'll stand on this angle so you can get this full scope of the room. Gorgeous. So you have this candlelight chandelier hanging down right above your king size bed. I love that. You have the sliding doors leading you to your backyard patio. And just wait till we get to that. So I'll continue around here to our ensuite. Look at this full coffee station that you can take advantage of. You have a coffee system right over there to the left, built in. Your picture windows overlooking your backyard oasis. And then you see the glass panes in our cabinet fronts and quartz countertops. Impressive. So now heading to the primary closet. Look at this, family. So you see the glass panes in the cabinet fronts again, your built-in closet island, and then of course your dresser. You still have some additional windows bringing in a ton of natural light, as you can see, and I love the LED strip that they added inside the cabinetry. So a ton of room, as you can see. I love this. Let me know if this is an adequate primary closet. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But tell me that's not a neat feature with the built-in coffee system. So you have multiple access points, as you can see. We'll continue as if we're walking in for the first time. So I'll go around this corner and continue. For my coffee lovers, you're gonna appreciate that. All right, so now, again, look at this. You got the champagne bronze mirror frame. You got your sconces, your quartz countertops with the gold veins, as you can see, and then the under cabinet lighting. And look at that, multiple access points to your backyard. So you have additional sliders. Look at our oval freestanding tub right here and a massive walk-in shower. So you got his and hers vanities, as you can see. And then of course you see the champagne bronze again. But let's go ahead and open up this walk-in shower. Look at that rain shower head right there. You have a massive built-in bench over here. You see right over here to the left, you got your shower niche again, a ton of space to work with. And then your water closet. So now that is a primary suite. I'm ecstatic about that. And then of course, right here, you can head right back there to your closet. Okay. So again, that was the bedrooms on this side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the great room. So far, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love to hear your feedback. I always mention that throughout the video, just as a reminder. Look at this, family. So as I pan you upwards, you got 12-foot ceilings. You see the exposed beams that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Right over there, look at the floating ceiling design that you have. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll turn you around right over here to the left and we can see our fireplace. So you have built-in shelving right there to the right, as you can see. You have tiling from floor to ceiling, as you can see as well. And then that modern fireplace. Lovely. So in here, you see that you have 10-foot sliders. Again, the corner sliders that you've seen heading over there to your dining area. We'll get to that in just a moment. I'll get you a close-up on our built-ins. Impressive. So you open the sliding doors up and then have that indoor-outdoor living we talk about quite often. And if that's not enough, you can open up the sliding doors right there to your courtyard. Beautiful. So extremely interactive, open. You can see the family hanging out here. Everyone has that all-inclusive conversations that we talk about. Now, as we head right over here to the kitchen, look at this, family. You got the massive island here, quartz countertops, the waterfall with the veins, as you can see. You got your pendant lights hanging down, and look how neat that is right there. Beautiful. So right over here to the left, you see our double Thermador ovens. You got your built-in microwave right there. A huge stainless steel refrigerator. We'll see that in just a moment. Right here, you got your 6-burner cooktop. As you can see, you have the splash guard, so you don't have to worry about that. Then you have a griddle as well. And then of course the picture windows overlooking. So this is a model home. I know I'm going to get comments about why is there a parking lot right next to it. Don't worry about that. This is for showcase purposes only right now. Wow. So you see the full scope, how huge it is in here. And then I'll open up some of these drawers for you. You'll get a better idea how much storage you get. Even right over here to the right. And then you see that you have custom inset cabinets. And if that's not enough, you have additional stack cabinets right above here with the glass panes inside. Impressive. So let's go ahead and continue right over here. So you have built-ins right over here to the right. You see our beverage fridge or wine fridge. And then you have additional shelving, picture windows, vaulted ceilings. Again, really love how much of a statement that makes as soon as you walk in. But again, look at the walk room. So really just pay attention to each and every room that we're in so you can see the size of it. Really impressive. I love that. And then of course you see the separation between the kitchen and the great room, but you still have that interactive space. Before we do continue, as always, let's open up the refrigerator. Again, Thermador, as you can see, plenty of storage to work with. Probably one of the biggest refrigerators we've seen in quite some time. And then you see our walk-in pantry here. And as I talked about previously, if you wanted to add some additional shelving, you can always do that to increase your storage. All right, so you got a close-up right here on the corner sliders, as you can see. I'll head right over here. And then you have a powder bath. So just off a couple steps from the great room, so your guests can use this. You have a stainless steel mirror frame right there, beautiful, elegant sconces, and then you see the separation between the toilet and the vanity. So straight ahead, again, that is the sales office, but it would be your garage. And then coming in, this is what you would be greeted with. But one of the biggest laundry rooms I've ever seen in my entire life. And look at this. So you got the sets of stackable washer and dryers. You got some additional cabinetry right above there. Your sink overlooking the side yard. You see the shiplap accent wall. And look at the space. So you will never complain about a laundry room. Once you have something like this, you might be ecstatic to fold your clothes. You see you got your folding counter right over here as well. And then some additional cabinetry right here. You got floating shelves on the left side, so you can have the entire family helping you with folding clothes, and you'd be done in 30 seconds to a minute max, right? Really neat. So oftentimes right over here, you see your built-in sink and beverage fridge. This is used as typically, since it is a sales office, there are going to be folks that are operating out of here quite often. They may want to grab a drink and you have that close proximity. So most times this will not be inside of your property unless you custom build it. And of course you got a storage closet right here. This most likely would be your coat closet. And then this will just give you an idea how much space you got. Beautiful. So it looks like we covered ground on the entire property so far. I don't think we missed a thing. Hopefully we didn't. But now let's go ahead and continue to our backyard oasis. Okay. So quite frankly, especially out here in Arizona, this is always the highlight. It's the front, especially the courtyard, and then the backyard. So heading back here, you see that slope design. I'll pan you upwards, as you can see. You see that wood soffit right there again. And a ton of space for the indoor, outdoor living. Now, I'll pan you around slowly right here. If you recall, when we walked into the foyer, you did have the additional door leading you right out here. So if you walk in the front door, you only need to take 5-10 steps and you'll head right back out here. Then again, your sliding doors right there in your primary suite. And then we'll continue right here to see our beautiful infinity edge pool. Look at that. So a ton of room out here. You see the turf, which I know you can appreciate, especially being out in Arizona. I'll continue this way and look at our outdoor grill. Beautiful. So you got a massive gas grill right over here, as you can see. And look at the beverage fridge right here as well. Love that. So you have a ton of counter space, as you can see. And then even heading back here, you can see how much space you still have even around this way. So if you wanted to get a tan, this is the perfect spot for you, especially right now. It's only, 97, 98 degrees. And, being from Texas, you'd be dying. But out here, it actually feels fantastic. And then now you have the pool and spa. And if that's not enough, remember, you did have the sliding doors right there inside of your primary bath. So you take a step out here and have your morning coffee or your morning tea. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Did you like David Weekley? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.